How's it going, everybody? My name's Matt, and this is my bracket. Longtime college basketball fan, mostly because I'm a Kansas Jayhawk diehard fan, and that therefore I have watched every single NCAA tournament since I've been born because K always makes it. Although this is with the Kevin McCullough news, so no championship for the Hawks this year, unfortunately. UConn over Stetson. Only 116 has a chance over one. It's not Stetson. Florida Atlantic over Northwestern. Final Four team last year, returned a lot of players. Just think they've been here before. They know how to take care of business in that first round. The only 5-12 that has no chance, UAB, is one of the worst teams in the tournament, in my opinion. They should not be in. They're overseeded. I think that game will be a blowout. Auburn and Yale. Yale always makes some noise, but unfortunately, they got the best 4 seed in the tournament, and Auburn will take care of them. BYU will take down Duquesne. BYU should be a 5 seed. Duquesne should be probably a 13 or a 14. That should be a pretty comfortable win for BYU. Illinois, I like Morehead State, but Illinois has been playing so well lately. Drake, Washington State, this is really close. This is more of an 8-9 matchup. Like Washington State, they've put together a solid 2 months and can do a lot there. Iowa State, besides Auburn, probably the hottest team. No problem with South Dakota State. North Carolina's not the 1 seed in any danger. If you want to win your brackets, you got to make different calls, and a lot of people are going Michigan State with Izzo and Sparty. Unfortunately, I don't think Michigan State, they should have been a bubble team, if anything. I think Mississippi State takes care of business there, sends Izzo home. This is a very popular 12-5. Tyan Grant Foster is a NBA-ready guard, former Kansas transferred, which was good for him. Although St. Mary's, the Gales, they got a tough 5 seed there. Can see Grand Canyon winning, but the Gales look really good. A 13 over 4. Alabama's been so hot, so cold. Alabama couldn't get it done last year with Brandon Miller. They're not going to get it done this year. I've seen it early exit. This should honestly be flipped. I think New Mexico's closer to a 6th than Clemson is. They're playing really well. They're great on offense. They're pretty decent at defense, too, according to KenPom, and we like that. The Bears versus the Toothpaste. Colgate's never won an NCAA tournament game, and Scott Drew will make sure that happens and stays that same trend. Nevada Dayton. I think this should be flipped. I think Nevada should be the favorite. I like the Wolfpack there. Dayton started hot, kind of cooled off recently, and good story with Long Beach State. Arizona's too much. If there's going to be a 1 seed to lose, it would be this game right here, but it's not going to happen. Nebraska, Texas A&M. Nebraska's never won an NCAA tournament game, and that changes this year with Fred Hoiberg. Love the coaching there. Love their team they got. I've watched a few of their games, and they can really shoot. Wisconsin, James Madison. I'm very pro-Wisconsin. My cousin went there and played football. Sorry, Tony. James Madison and the Dukes. Against Duke. They'll get past Vermont. Texas Tech, NC State, 5 games, 5 days for the Fighting Dennis Smith Juniors. Gotta go Tech. Tech's just rock fight. They're going to win that game. Oakland can score 90 and lose. Kentucky's that good on offense. Florida, Boise, Colorado. I think Colorado wins this game. Florida may be down there big, but I really like Florida on offense. Marquette will have no issues with Western Kentucky. Purdue's not going to lose again there. Easiest 8-9 matchup here. Don't overthink it. Take TCU, Jameer Nelson Jr., Urdus Uday. They got the point guard. They got the center. Don't overthink that. Will Wade will take care of Gonzaga. Tough draw for Gonzaga here. Toughest 12 in the nation. Gonzaga couldn't get it done with Timmy, Suggs, Chet. Just not Mark Few's year there, and they lose to McNeese. Samford is interesting. They play 1 in, 4 out. They shoot well. I think everyone shoots over 38%. I'm still going Kansas, and, folks, everyone is picking Samford here. Let's not forget that Kansas has Hunter Dickinson. Kansas beat UConn, Houston, Kentucky, and Tennessee this year. That was full health, yes. But even without Kevin McCullough, they will get past Samford. South Carolina's been overrated all season. Anytime they get high up in the rankings, they get destroyed. Give me Oregon. They're playing really well. This is a really interesting game. I think it'll be really, really close, and because Creighton really pushes the ball, and Akron is they're a rock fight defensive team. I'm going Akron. It's one of those games where I could be wrong and probably Creighton makes the Final Four, but the Zips, I don't know, something about them. I think they're really going to make Creighton uncomfortable. It's a tough matchup for Creighton. I would hate if I'm a Creighton fan, and Akron moves on. Texas, Colorado State. We saw Colorado State beat Virginia. I think Texas just has the talent there to take them down. Don't fall into the St. Peter's trap there. Moving up, UConn will probably win that game by 20 points. They're just way better than Florida Atlantic at this point. UConn is just unbelievable. Auburn will take care of San Diego State. I think whatever that spread is, maybe 3.5 points. I think Auburn wins by 8 to 10 points there. I think they got a good matchup with their 5 seed. They got a brutal bracket, but they got an easy 5 seed in my opinion. BYU, Illinois. This is such a tough game. Like I said, I think BYU should be a 5 seed. So I'm going BYU. I mean, they just look so good in the Big 12 this year. They went into Allen and won. That's really hard to do. Illinois looks really good too, but going BYU there. Iowa State, Washington State. This is really tough. I really want to go Washington State. I really think if there's a 2 that's going to get knocked out, it's Iowa State. But I can't go against Iowa State yet. They just look too good. Ironically, Michigan State matches up better against North Carolina, but they're not going to get there. North Carolina will take down Mississippi State, and St. Mary's will take care of Charleston's little Cinderella story there. Then we got New Mexico versus Baylor. This is a very interesting matchup as well. No one's talking about Baylor enough. I'm going Baylor. A lot of people are picking them to lose to Colgate or New Mexico. I just think you can get that 3 seed and a potential advantage in your bracket. You go there. This is an interesting matchup here too. Arizona gets it done. Love Caleb Love on that team. And they're not going to – they got knocked down the first round last year. They do not want that to happen again. As much as I'd love to choose Nebraska, I think Houston rolls them pretty easily. I think Nebraska's happy to be there and win a game. James Madison versus Duke. James Madison, I think 31 wins this year, played unbelievable. However, you got to go Duke. You got to go Flipikowski in that game. You got to go John Shire. I think they get it done against James Madison. Good story for James Madison. Texas Tech and Kentucky. The scoring for Kentucky is just unbelievable. They're hot and cold, but they have 7-footers, lottery picks, and shooters. What more could you ask for? Marquette gets it done against Florida. Florida was fully healthy. I think they win, but I think Marquette gets it done. I like Gold on their team. The first 1 seed down will be Purdue. Like I said before, Jameer Nelson Jr. at the point, who's a scoring point guard, and Ernest Uday, who is the 7-footer, also a transfer from Kansas. He's really improved. Really wish Kansas kept him, but he made the right decision for himself. I think he can kind of play with Uday. I think he can play with Edey, sorry. And I really like TCU in that game. And then you got Will Wade against Kansas. Once again, I think you have Kansas beating a 13 and a 12, and I think you're going to get points on your opponents there. I think everyone has Kansas losing. I just think Bill Self is the best coach in basketball. I like Will Wade a lot, but now he knows who he doesn't have. He knows how to game plan it, and I think the talent is there enough to get past McNeese. Oregon takes care of Akron. Akron used all of their willpower to get past Creighton in a squeak-by victory. Oregon takes them down. Rick Barnes will win the Rick Barnes Texas Bowl. Don't like Texas's coach there. So that is your Sweet 16. Going to the Elite 8 here. Second 1 seed down will be UConn. They got the worst 4 seed to have. Auburn should be a 3 by far. And they match up really well. I mean, with Auburn, you can really just look at, they got Johnny Broome, leads their team in points and rebounds. He will play very well against UConn's bigs. They shoot well. They shoot 3-pointers at a decent clip, but they got a lot of guys that shoot over 40% on 3-pointers and decent on free throws as well. So Auburn takes down UConn, ruining the repeat opportunity there. Big 12 matchup here. Iowa State gets it done. BYU looks really good, but Iowa State is just the hottest team besides Auburn, so that'll be the game of the tournament coming up right there. The second 1 seed down will be North Carolina. The Gales are, a lot of people, like I said, have them losing to Grand Canyon. I think if they get past Grand Canyon, I think that's a harder matchup than Alabama or Charleston. And then they move to right here against North Carolina. I think they're too R.J. Davis reliant. I like Baycott, but sometimes he gets into foul trouble. And when games like that happen, St. Mary's can shoot out of the gym. They've been playing well all year. Give me the Gales. And then you got Baylor and Arizona. Love both these teams. Going with Arizona, Baylor just doesn't have that guy like they've had before with, Jared Butler or Torian Prince, anyone like that, Pierre Jackson. Arizona has that with Caleb Love. Listen, they lost last year in the first round. They add Caleb Love, who's had that deep run in the tournament, and they're moving on. Houston Duke, I think Houston got a very good draw. Getting Duke as their 4. I think they're just better at Duke at everything, and get past Duke pretty easily there. And then Kentucky will take down Marquette. Just with the scoring ability there, I just think it's something that'll be a fun matchup with that 1-3. Kansas TCU. This is where it ends for Kansas. TCU handled them pretty easily in the year, and with Kansas's depleted health, a Sweet 16 berth is probably about where Bill Self can get them. Jameer Nelson Jr. Jameer Nelson should be a household name, but you never know. And Ernest Uday will play well against Hunter Dickinson down low. He was the transfer out when Dickinson came in, so he's got some extra firepower there. And Tennessee will take care of the 11th seed Oregon. So, moving into the Elite Eight. To go to the Final Four, Auburn or Iowa State. This is a tough game here. I'm going to go with Auburn. 2 of the hottest teams in basketball. I just like Auburn's size. I like they can shoot. I like Bruce Pearl. I think they got a slight coaching advantage. And they've just really dominated. They're so good. They've won 6 in a row, beating Florida, Mississippi State twice, South Carolina. So many tournament teams in a row. And coming off that win against UConn, I think Iowa State will be a little intimidated as they hadn't really been tested yet and have to go against the kind of run into a buzzsaw there. Moving to St. Mary's in Arizona. I think Arizona wins this one. I think they get past St. Mary's and the Gales, and Caleb Love gets back to the Final Four. Houston and Kentucky. This is a really hard game. Houston is so good defensively, and Kentucky just can't guard a cone. And with that being said, I think Kentucky can definitely score more than Houston, but Houston can guard way better than Kentucky can. I got to go Houston there. And then TCU versus Tennessee. That's where it ends for TCU. Give me Tennessee there. Final Four, we got a 4, a 2, a 1, and a 2. I think that Auburn gets to the championship, or they will run into Houston. And this will be a hell of a game to watch. I really like what Kelvin Sampson's done in the Big 12. Coming in and winning the Big 12 was a hell of a feat. I always throw a random score in here. We'll go 168, 85 to 83. Houston. Congratulations to Kelvin Sampson and the boys.